Welcome to episode 27 of the Travel Calumet Original Podcast. I'm your host, Rick Sense, and my guest for this episode is somebody who's been on the program before, which is great, Polly Roland. And Polly is one of the owner-operators of Polly's Pumpkin Patch here in Chilton. And for listeners that have not been here yet, Polly's Pumpkin Patch is located just north of Chilton on the western side of Highway 3257 if you're heading south. That makes sense. But that doesn't change because you're still always on the western side, right?
Right.
So it's a great family venue. It's a must-see destination here in Calumet County. And hopefully after listening to the program today, you'll agree. Polly, you appeared on episode 8 of the Travel Calumet Original Podcast. So if you missed that episode, folks, I encourage you to go listen to the travelcalumet.com site and click on the Travel Calumet Original Podcast logo, go to the index and download episode 8 and listen to learn the origin story, if you will, of Polly's Pumpkin Patch. So we're not going to spend some time today talking about the past. We're going to be talking about what's going on this fall, which is some really exciting stuff. And to pick up where we left off in our last conversation, you had just teased a little or hinted that there was this excitement that was going to take place here on site at Polly's Pumpkin Patch. And it was involving some football team to the north of us and the NFL, I guess, too, if I remember correctly. So now that your beautiful sunflower season just concluded, fall's right around the corner, are you able to provide listeners with an update about the excitement that's coming to Polly's in just a few weeks?
Sure. So back in October, we were contacted by the NFL draft team working for the Packers. And they came and visited us and chose us to be one of the corn mazes in Wisconsin that has the NFL Draft 25 logo in it.
That's pretty cool.
And it is. It's pretty cool. We're really, really excited about it.
Yeah. So you've been prepping for that, I imagine. You're going to have the logo. I know the process from our last conversation. So that's been being worked on since this summer. How has the rain impacted the development of the maze? I bet you there's some stories there this year.
Yeah,
with all the rain
there's a part of it, 2 parts of it that we have planted 3 and 4 times, and it's finally, the corn has come up. The corn usually is very even across this top, and now it's uneven, but you know what? It still is tall enough, and it still looks really good.
If you come out to take a tour, how much time should you budget to go through the maze? Is it something you can just waltz through in 5 minutes, or is it a lot longer than that?
Some people actually do go through in 5 or 10 minutes.
Really? Okay.
But there is a game to play. Actually, there's 2 parts of the maze. There's an easy part for people with little kids or people who don't want to do the big long one, and then there's a big longer one. They both have games to play, and if you're going to go in the big one and find all the checkpoints for the game, you can be in there 2 hours.
Wow.
You don't have to find all of them. Some people won't leave until they find all of them, and you can do both of them too. You can do the easy one and the hard one.
Okay. Well, I know there's more to Polly's Pumpkin Patch because it's not called Polly's Corn Maze. It's called Polly's Pumpkin Patch. So maybe you could share with listeners some of the other things that are going to be going on while the NFL Draft Corn Maze is here.
Well, we will have lots of pumpkins of every shape and color and size. And those are looking pretty good. And we'll have wagon rides to the field. And we also have lots of new stuff in our play area, including our most exciting thing. Our slide is now a combine slide.
Combine slide. Mm-hmm. Okay. As in a John Deere combine kind of?
We have
okay.
an old John Deere combine that sits up on the hill next to the store, and we have 2 tube slides and some mat slides coming off of it. So actually 4 people could go down the slide at the same time.
Okay.
And we have a viewing area at the top so you can look down over the whole play area, and we even let the kids go in and sit in the driver's seat. They can turn the wheel and pull knobs and stuff and have a good time in there.
Pretty cool. You've got it just happens, an interesting color choice too with the John Deere, the green and gold as well.
Yep.
Kind of a theme going here, it sounds like. The maze is opening on what day then this
It's
year?
a Friday, the 13th of September.
Okay. All right. A lucky day.
Yeah, and we're open Friday and Saturday nights so that you can walk through the maze in the dark. So our very first day, we'll have a night maze.
Very cool. Very cool. Working with the Packers must have been an interesting experience. Could you share a little bit of that experience with listeners, just so they know what into all this?
Sure.
Planning?
So it's the draft team from the Packers who, they've been planning for months and months and months ever since they found out they were hosting. So a couple of the ladies on the team came to us. We were actually recommended by the Farm Bureau as one of the fields they should come see. So that was back in October before we even closed last year, and they liked it, and we talked it over and decided we would do it.
And I'm assuming you work with like the marketing teams of the NFL draft team?
Well, so far it's just this draft team that we're working with. They are going to get more information to us soon, but they will be coming out and filming and doing some drone videos and stuff also.
All right. As a point of reference, just so everyone knows, it's early to mid-August.
Right.
Polly and I are talking right now, so you have that in mind as you're listening to the program. What still needs to be done to get ready for the fall season out here?
We have a lot of stuff done out in the play area that was done for our sunflower field. We have a few of our attractions that aren't out yet. None of our signs are out yet, so we do have a lot of stuff to keep us busy for the next month so that we can have everything ready.
What is going to be available in the farm store this year?
Our jams, jellies, candy, a lot of candy, a lot of goodies, lots of treats. We'll have soda, lots of drinks, lots of cold water, and so forth.
Okay, so if somebody's out here and they get a little hungry, there's going to be ample opportunity for them to eat.
And if you come on Saturday and Sunday, we have a kitchen here, and we do serve food on Saturday and Sunday. During the week we don't, but you can have a meal on Saturday and Sunday. I think we serve from like 11 to 4:30 or something like that.
Okay. When are you anticipating the pumpkin patch to be open and ready for people to start picking pumpkins? Is that open on day one?
The field itself is available on weekends only. You have to ride our wagon ride out to the field, but our yard will be full of pumpkins on the 13th when we open.
Okay. And you mentioned the combine slide. Is there any other attractions that are new this year that people can expect to see?
We have our giant chair. I think it's something like 15 feet tall. And we also have mini golf this year. We're going to have a 10-hole mini golf. Last year we had our gravity box basketball, and we'll have that along with another gravity box with football. Tire Mountain we have. That's a thing you can climb on. The little boys especially like it. It's filled with gravel and they can dig in there.
Very cool. So I'm guessing some of the normal favorites will still be back this year, like the cannon. Will that be operating?
Yep, the corn cannon will be ready on opening day. And that's the shooting the corn cobs at targets. That's always a fun one. Everybody likes to do it. The dads always try to show the kids how to do it, and then the kids hit the targets. It's fun. Okay. It's really fun. And our animals, we have our farm animals, and everybody likes going to see them.
With the school year starting too, do you do tours with school kids?
We do school groups.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if someone's interested, how should they
go to our website. There is a page for school groups, and there is a link to a form you fill out and return to us. And we help them pick a day and what they want to do and get it all arranged.
So what experience do the kids get? Do they go to the pumpkin patch?
They get a wagon ride to the field. They get to bring a pumpkin home with them. Okay. They get to see all the animals. We introduce them to the animals and explain a little bit about them, and they get to pet them if they like to. Otherwise, they get to play around and all this stuff, and that's what they like best.
Sounds like a great school day for them. So.
Yep, it is. They have a lot of fun.
Very cool. So you recently wrapped up the sunflower season. It's such a beautiful thing, listeners, as you're driving on Highway 3257, to just see this beautiful wide swatch of sunflowers.
Yeah, it was
Can you
really
maybe
pretty.
Talk a little bit about that, how that went this year, and maybe how that all developed and came about?
Well, we started that, this would have been our 4th year. Last year, we did not have one. Last year was when it was really dry. We had no rain at all, and we had very few sunflowers come up, and even the ones that did come up only got about a foot tall.
Wow.
So we just didn't have it last year. Now this year we were really worried with all the rain that it was going to wash them all away, but came up pretty darn good, and we rototill a path through there, and then we put up a whole bunch of picture points where people could take their pictures, and it goes over really well. And the last few days we let people cut their own flowers and take them home, and that went over real well. So we think we're going to incorporate that next year.
Okay, great. Okay, so if you would, folks would want to learn more about the experience here and the hours and things like that, where would you direct them to look?
The easiest place right now, since the store is closed until we reopen, would be my website or on Facebook. So my website is polly'spumpkinpatch.com, and same thing, Polly's Pumpkin Patch on Facebook. And I do a lot of Facebook posts to keep people informed, but everything should be on the website.
Polly, it sounds like you're going to have a great season this year, and I'm looking forward to getting out here this year. I can tell you right now, folks, if you haven't been here, it's definitely worth the visit. Kids especially are going to love it. Make sure you plan accordingly and take advantage of this great, wonderful must-see destination here in Calumet County. You've been listening to the Travel Calumet Original Podcast. I'm Rick Sense, and our guest today again was Polly Roland. And make sure to check out this episode if you want to listen to it again, or our other episodes at the Travel Calumet website. Go to travelcalumet.com and go to the big podcast logo on the main page. Click on that, and you'll have access to the directory of all the previous episodes that are out there. So thanks again for listening, and thank you, Polly, for being on today.
Thank you, Rick.
And we look forward to talking to you again.